Kevin Iole in Las Vegas at UFC Apex. UFC 317 is on Saturday, and one of the guys I always like to talk to at a big UFC is the Hall of Famer Michael Bisping. Mike, how are you, my friend?
I'm very good. It's always a pleasure to talk to you as well, Kevin. So, yeah, thank you for giving me some time and being gracious with your audience.
I know it's always your pleasure to talk to me. I know how that goes. So I want to start with, I haven't heard your opinion yet on Jon Jones' retirement. Were you shocked? I know you were hoping to see that Aspinall fight like the rest of us were. Were you shocked that he retired without taking on Tom?
Yeah, I was, to be honest. I think if he'd have retired after he fought Stipe, no one could have said anything. It would have been like, you had a great career, you can't do it forever, getting older, there's always going to be someone young, up and coming through. But he didn't do that. He kind of implied that he was going to fight him. Yeah, he said that he annoyed him and things like that, but he definitely... It seemed that he agreed with the UFC that he was going to fight him, and apparently money was discussed and stuff like that. And then for him to come out and do this, it is surprising. It is disappointing, if I'm honest, as well. And I do think it will affect his legacy to a certain degree. I don't think it's necessarily just a case of him ducking Tom, although I do think he does recognize that he is a threat, that he is big, he's agile, all the attributes, right? But then when you combine it with everything else, that he is getting older, that he has made plenty of money, that he's going to get, from what I saw online, $6-7 million next month out of this lawsuit as well. And then, of course, we see all this, the legal stuff that's going on, which is something that's haunted Jon. And that goes back to February. So I think he's had a lot of distractions. He even admitted that he wasn't training or working out at all. So I guess when you look at that in the bigger picture, it's not a surprise. Right. But I still, in my mind, as a fighter, still thought that Jon would do it. And as I say, people that have been around, you know, like old school MMA fans, they will remember Jon, what he did at light heavyweight and what he achieved in his career. But the sport's bigger than ever, and there's a lot of new fans, and a lot of new fans will not remember him for that. They will remember that he walked away and did everything he could to avoid Tom.
I think Aspinall had the style to beat him. Now, I had said to everybody, I've done a million podcasts, I said I thought that Jon would win the fight, but that Aspinall's style, his quickness, his power, his great jiu-jitsu, that would give him a chance. You were a big fan and a proponent of Aspinall's from way back when he came in the UFC. What did you think of that match? Yeah,
I said it on ESPN after, I forget who it was that Tom beat. I said, Jon Jones can't hold a candle to Tom. I said...
Can't hold a candle?
Can't hold a candle. I said, Tom will knock him out. He'll knock him out. He'll beat him any way he chooses. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster. He can wrestle really good. He's done jiu-jitsu since he was 16 years old. I just didn't see a way that Jon could beat him. Now, granted, then I saw him fight Stipe, and on my own podcast, the award-winning Believe You Me has never won an award.
One of my favorites, and I don't know how it hasn't won.
It's never won an award, and, you know... What are you doing, guys?
It has won the Kevin Iole Podcast of the Year. Remember, I wrote that?
You did. Hey, that is correct. I forgot about that. We got one, guys.
It wasn't worth much.
After the Stipe fight, I said, hold on a minute. Maybe I was maybe a little recency bias for Tom. But I thought Jon would give him more problems, but I was still confident that Tom could beat him. And that is not a disrespect to Jon Jones. That's not a disrespect in any way to Jon Jones. It's just saying how good I think Tom is.
Right. I know you got to go. So last question, I just want to get to, what is this movie you're filming? You're becoming a movie star. Are we going to know, are you going to talk to us? You can be wearing sunglasses here.
Well, you know, maybe you'll have to go through my agent or whatever. No, I do a little bit of acting. I never refer to myself as an actor. And I was, actually a few years ago, I was in Bulgaria doing Red Sonja. Comes out soon, by the way. They wanted me at Comic Con today to promote it, but I'm here for the UFC. See, I got my priorities straight. No, I was having an argument. He said, you're an actor. I said, I'm not an actor. He said, yeah, you are. I said, I'm a former fighter that does a bit of acting. He said, you're an actor, Bisping. What are you talking about? So anyway, I don't think I'm an actor, but I am lucky enough to get these opportunities. I just did the lead role in a movie called The Gambit, which is an action film. I'm really excited to see how it comes out. But we've also got The Naked Gun coming out soon. We've got Red Sonja coming out soon. And in 2 weeks, I shoot another lead role called The Gambit. Called Atlas King. I play Atlas King, and that's a very, very good script. So I'm really, really excited about it. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't know what they're doing giving me these opportunities. They don't even know if I can fucking act.
So let's just wrap it on this. Last question then. Who gets an Academy Award first? You or Rampage Jackson?
Well, We'll say Rampage. He's funnier. There you go. But listen, I'm just trying to. I don't think I'm an actor or anything like that. I'm just trying to live my life, provide for my family, and get through each day. And so somehow in the year 2025, I'm still getting these kind of opportunities. So I would be a fool to turn them down.
He is a Hall of Famer. He is one of the best podcasters around, and he is also an actor. Michael Bisping. Mike, appreciate you, brother.
Sorry. Anytime, sir.
Good to see you. Thank you, brother.
Of course.